Namaste everyone. Welcome to the Hindu Society of Augusta. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all on this special occasion for this unveiling of the book of Swami Vivekananda. As we are starting, the first item of this day is a bhajan by Unveiling. And please welcome her before we start the next part of the session.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to this evening's program. Today I'll be starting. Today is the 163rd birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. So before I sing a hymn for him, I would like to pay my salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, who was the Guru of Swami Vivekananda. Om Sapkaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha Jananim Sharadam Devi Ramakrishnam Jagat Guru Padme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Now the hymn that I'll be singing, it's a Sanskrit hymn, and it's to Swami Vivekananda, also known as Sri Vivekananda Geeti Stotram, and it was composed by his disciple Sharat Chandra Chakravarti, and the author here refers to himself in the hymn as Hindu. The meaning of the hymn, which is in 3 stanzas in English, is that you, Swami Vivekananda, to him, to his disciple, was Lord Shiva incarnate, resplendent like the sun, adorned by gods and men as their chosen ideal, the embodiment of the Vedas who has overcome the bondage of the much censored lust and gold. Brilliant with rays of 1,000,000 suns, the lion among men who has nothing but a lion cloth to wear, who is dancing the violent dance of Shiva, the quarters reverberate with the cry of fear not, fear not. A mere compassionate glance of whose eyes is enough to impart both enjoyment and liberation, who tramples with ease the hosts of vice, who is the veritable Shiva with the crescent moon on the forehead, and who is worshipped by Indu. I bow to the Guru, Swami Vivekananda. Murta Maheshwara Mujala Bhashkara Mishta Mamara Nara Vandya Murta Maheshwara Mujala Bhashkara Mishta Mamara Nara Vandya Bhukti Mukti Kripa Kataksha Pekshana Magadala Vidalana Daksha Bhada Chandradhara Sindhu Bandamiha Naumi Guru Vivekananda Murta Maheshwara Mujala Bhashkara Mishta Mamara Nara
The applause took several minutes to stop. That's the first time in a Western Hemisphere where audience have been addressed as sisters and brothers. So that has given, after the speech, I think the speech has been one of the talk of the World Conference itself, all the conference. Whereas he entered the conference without being a speaking slot. So that shows that character of the knowledge and wisdom of Swami Vivekananda. So that's an anecdote part of it. So this is not a statue, it's an honor of his legacy. So it is Dr. T.R. Reddy has given the legacy in Augusta. Whenever anybody comes to temple, we'll see who is that. So especially youngsters, I love to see. Anyway, they will come to this temple. So whenever they come, they are going to ask, who is he? So they will know Swami Vivekananda. And then they will go, definitely Google and find out what is Swami Vivekananda. That's the legacy Dr. Reddy is leaving, the legacy of Dr. Swami Vivekananda in Augusta. So kudos to you. And this is your third statue in your village in Atlanta, and this is the third. I don't know if there is anything else you had already installed and we are not aware of it. So we all know Swami Vivekananda words and actions transcend boundaries, languages and culture. He believed in universality of humankind, and it's as I said that it symbolizes his courage, his selfishness and commitment to upliftment of humanity. While we all attach Swami Vivekananda as a monk, we all say he's monk. He's more than that. So people come and talk about or give their wisdom whenever they are living, and that wisdom is relevant to the period which they live. A person like Swami Vivekananda has given his teachings. It's relevant today because if you see all his teaching, it's going to be relevant today, and it is going to be relevant for centuries to come. So that is the special knowledge and wisdom which he possesses. So that is what he is living across generations. So we have maybe the fourth generation was reading and talking about Swami Vivekananda. I'm sure that several generations
here and the big new temple, and now it's so wonderful to see this latest edition and stop putting in the statue of Swami Vivekananda. So I've been here for about a week and I've been talking to my dad, and I've always learned from my parents and the community about Swami Vivekananda and how important he was to the entire world. And so my dad suggested that I read a couple of his speeches. Our Consulate General did talk a little bit about Swami Vivekananda coming to Chicago in 1893, but I thought I'd read the full speech that he gave, and then a quote. So this was Swami Vivekananda's speech at the World Parliament of Religion in Chicago. This was a response to the welcome. Sisters and brothers of America, it fills my heart with joy unspeakable to rise in response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us. I thank you in the name of the most ancient order of monks in the world. I thank you in the name of the mother of religions, and I thank you in the name of millions and millions of Hindu people of all classes and sects. My thanks also to some of the speakers on this platform who, referring to the delegates from the Orient, have told you that these men from far-off nations may well claim the honor of bearing to different lands the idea of toleration. I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. We believe not only in universal toleration, but we accept all religions as true. I am proud to belong to a nation which has sheltered the persecuted and the refugees of all religions and all nations of the earth. I am proud to tell you that we have gathered in our bosom the purest remnant of the Israelites who came to southern India and took refuge with us in the very year in which their holy temple was shattered to pieces by Roman tyranny. I am proud to belong to the religion which has sheltered and is still fostering remnant Zoroastrian nation. I will quote to you, brethren, a few lines from a hymn which I remember to have repeated from my earliest boyhood, which is every day repeated by millions of human beings. As the different streams having their sources in different places all mingle their water in the sea, so, O Lord, the different paths which men take through different tendencies, various though they appear, crooked or straight, all lead to thee. The present convention, which is one of the most august assemblies ever held, is in itself a vindication, a declaration to the world of the wonderful doctrine preached in the Gita. Whosoever comes to me, through whosoever form I reach him, all men are struggling through paths which in the end lead to me. Sectarianism, bigotry, and its horrible descendant fanaticism have long possessed this beautiful earth. They have filled the earth with violence, drenched it often and often with human blood, destroyed civilization, and sent whole nations to despair. Had it not been for these horrible demons, human society would be far more advanced than it is now. But their time has come, and I fervently hope that the bell that tolled this morning in honor of this convention may be the death knell of all fanaticism, of all persecutions, with the sword or with the pen, and of all uncharitable feelings between persons wending their way to the same goal. So that was the speech that he gave in Chicago at the Parliament of Nations. And then I just want to end with a quote, which my dad often brings up to me. This is a Swami Vivekananda quote: "Infinite patience, infinite purity, and infinite perseverance are the secret of success in a good cause."
Thank you in the name of the most ancient of the months in the world. I thank you in the name of the mother religion. And I thank you in the name of the millions and millions of Hindu people of all classes and faiths.
Wake up to know the song that had its birth, far off a worldly day could never reach. In mountain caves and little forest being, whose calm was I for lust a wealth of fame, could never dare to break where rolled the stream of knowledge, truth, and bliss that follows both. Sing high that looks of your simple. Say that sadu, say that sadu, that sadu, say that sadu, that sadu, say that sadu. Strike off that fetter, bonds that bind thee down, shining gold, on dark and vessel, love, hate, good, bad, and all the
శ్రీరాముని కన్న దేశంనాడు సత్యవాక్కు కట్టుబడి కాటి కాపరిగా మారిన పశ్చాత్తాపం చెందని హరిశ్చంద్రుని వంటి చక్రవర్తులు ఏలిన సంశయ దేశం నాది కారుణ్యం.
teaches me what's at stake. I've been down before, but I won't stay low. With every challenge, I rise and grow. There's a fire in my soul that won't burn out. I'm moving forward, there's no room for doubt. I'm getting stronger every day. No matter what comes, I'll find my way. I'll face the storm, I'll fight the fight. I'm not backing down, I'll claim my life. Stronger.
So I call on stage Shri Nandi Shetty for giving a keynote address to this unveiling ceremony.
Thank you, everybody. First thing is, I'm not giving the keynote. I just happen to be the voice of it today. So Mr. T already wrote it. So these are his word, his thoughts. So and he gave strict instructions not to insert a comma or a full stop either. So these are his words. And Swami Vivekananda was not a noted or famous person before he voluntarily arrived in the United States to speak at the Parliament of Religions. Hence, he arrived a few weeks prior, and he had lost his baggage and his content. He found himself stranded in a foreign land until one day a kind-hearted lady, Mrs. K. Stanborn, offered him hospitality, food, and shelter. When she found out why he was here, she referred him to Professor John Henry Wright of the Harvard University, whom she knew and recognized who recognized his immense knowledge and brilliance. Professor Wright was so impressed by his intellect that he remarked, "To ask you for your credentials is like asking the sun about its right to shine." He immediately arranged for this young man to participate in the Parliament of the World of Religions. When the Parliament finally began in September 1893, this young man was initially nervous. However, when he stood up and addressed the audience with the words, "Sisters and Brothers of America," he electrified the room and received a standing ovation that lasted several minutes. His speech focused on the universal message of harmony, tolerance, and shared spiritual values of all religions. He was celebrated for his clarity, universality, and the depth. He instantly became the most talked about delegate at the Parliament. His charisma and profound wisdom left a lasting impression on everyone present. Newspapers described him as a Hindu monk of marvelous eloquence. It's my honor to stand before you today as we unveil the magnificent icon of one of India's most biggest spiritual leaders. This movement is more than just a ceremony. It's a tribute to the enduring legacy of a man whose words and actions continue to inspire millions across the globe. He must have had something to say, otherwise the Americans would not have kept him for 4 years. Even I don't know that. So I guess they didn't deport him, but hosting him in their houses and helping him travel all over. He would get an honorarium for speaking, which he would send to the poor in India. His message of non-duality, of good and evil, and religious harmony. The soul never dies, as it is stressed in the Bhagavad Gita, the Hindu Bible. His encounter with the richest man, John D. Rockefeller, turned him into a mega donor from a simple charitable man. Swamiji told him that to be able to give is an opportunity and a privilege. When Rockefeller asked why he was not thanking, instead Swamiji said he should not thank when he donates. So now he's referring to me, but Nandi, I invite you to vouch that I said since you have attended many events with me, I have made a charitable donation at Augusta Tech for student scholarships or donated to MCG for the COVID research when the NIH funding ended without being solicited. So I did ask, does Auntie know? So this is off the record. So when Vivekananda was 8 years old, Swami Vivekananda's mother, Bhuvaneshwari Devi, encouraged him to engage in spiritual practices such as prayer and meditation. As a follower of Ramakrishna, she played a crucial role in leading Vivekananda to meet Ramakrishna. This meeting marked a pivotal moment in his life, which set him on a path of becoming a monk and a spiritual leader. Ramakrishna recognized Vivekananda's potential and became his guru, imparting profound spiritual wisdom and guiding him on his journey. Let me digress here for a minute. That's still Mr. Reddy digressing. So let me digress here for a minute. With the advent of flat world theory identified by Thomas Friedman of New York Times, nowadays it's very simple to transfer any knowledge, technology, medicine, and military, of course, which was not easy. It has never been a problem to exchange the religious thoughts and charitable ideas. Few Eastern and Western philosophers have made attempts, but only made small progress, such as Ram Mohan Roy in the mid-1880s and Ralph Waldo Emerson, who was the leading figure in the Transcendental movement. However, he did not make any remarkable impact on the Westerners until Swami Vivekananda arrived here in the United States and exposed the West to the Vedanta and Yoga. Emerson was a philosopher and an abolitionist. Okay. So I didn't want to make it political all of a sudden. And led the transcendental movement of the 20th century. Was first to explore Eastern philosophy, including Hinduism and the Bhagavad Gita, which was attributed to have laid the foundation stone of self-realization and self-thinking in the United States. For your information, Mahatma Gandhi's movement of Indian independence was influenced by the ideas of Emerson and Thoreau, who were philosophers who set the tone for the American ideas. Vivekananda saw the parades of Salvation Army in the streets of Calcutta. Salvation Army was conceptualized and started in the UK by Mr. and Mrs. Booth in the early 1830s. In addition to Sri Ramakrishna's influence, Vivekananda was inspired by the Salvation Army that he observed during his college days. He admired their dedication to serving humanity, especially the work among the poor, downtrodden, and the marginalized section of society. His admiration for the Salvation Army highlighted his openness to learning from different cultures and organizations, believing in adopting practices that align with the core principles of Vedanta and addressing the practical needs of society. Swami professed that honesty, humility, and perseverance are the traits of success in this life. He challenged everyone from a poignant question: how long is this for? As you have come into this world, leave some mark behind. Otherwise, there is difference between you and the trees and stones. They too come into existence, decay, and die. The philosophy of Swami Vivekananda inspired me of giving back to society from a young age. My mother introduced me to the teachings of Swami Vivekananda for service. For service, commitment to giving to the needy, and when I see that I can humbly. He has dedicated his life to making a meaningful difference in the lives of others. You may Google me. I will continue to extend my efforts both in India and United States, embodying the spirit of service and Swami Vivekananda champion. Today we gather to unveil this magnificent statue of Swami Vivekananda, hoping the younger generations would get some benefit, get curious, and learn about the practice in their lives. Thank you. I'm sorry if I fumbled a little. I was not supposed to speak, but I'll just say this. Thank you, T.R. Uncle, for taking the lead. I did not know how it was possible, and how you pulled off. And also, I'm disappointed. Our icon is smaller than the Atlanta one. We should do bigger. Just, but thank you.
Right. So this is where we end this whole celebration for this. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us today in this momentous occasion. As Redempel informed me, this will be the 5th statue of Swami Vivekananda in the United States, and we have our legacy standing in our own front yard. I express my thanks to Mayor, the CGI, and other dignitaries who took out their valuable time and came for this unveiling ceremony and provided their support for the celebration. My special thanks to T.R. Reddy and his family for this generous donation and making a legacy to stand in our front yard. On behalf of STS and its community, I express my special thanks to Mike, who spent his time working in those chilly weather of Augusta, where every one of us were sitting in nice and warm homes, for constructing the pedestal and installing that bus. I also express my thanks for Human House for sponsoring the snacks, Piyush Patel for sponsoring the coffee for this occasion, and last but not least, all the temple volunteers and the community members who stood up for this occasion and contributed the most to make this program successful. Thank you all.